Hey guys, Juni here, and welcome to my Final Fantasy XIV Materia guide. Today I'll be going over what is Materia, the types of Materia, how to get Materia, melding, Spiritbond, the differences between Demimateria and Materia, and also recycling Materia. Let's get started. So, what is Materia? It's a way to boost the stats of your gear beyond its normal limits. So, in other words, you're just buffing your gear. Now, there's currently 1 through 8 tiers of Materia, but I suspect that by next expansion, if it follows the trend of previous expansions, we'll be seeing an addition to that, and in this case it would probably be 1 through 10. There's a lot of different ways you can obtain Materia. You can get them through dungeons, through random chests, maps, which you can gather, extracting, which I'll get into with Spiritbond, retrieving, which is when you take a piece of Materia that's already melded onto a piece of gear and retrieve it, or attempt to claim it back, which is not 100% guaranteed, by the way. You can get it through the market board, where you can purchase them from other players. You can trade with peers, so friends or FC members, or even from an FC chest. NPC rewards, so crafting and gathering scripts, which you can trade with NPCs, or quests that you can obtain them from with NPCs. And you can also trade clusters or crystals in order to get Materia, and they kind of vary depending on what expansion you're getting them from, so different content, for example. Let's say tanks are in need for leveling roulette, and you want to go in as tank, then you can get clusters and crystals that way. You can also get these from the Foe Commander and Chloe Eliapo in Idleshire, and I believe that's through Wondrous Tales. I don't really do Wondrous Tales very often, but you can get Materia through that. So the way you go about getting Materia can greatly vary depending on what your interests are, how much time you have, how much gil you have, etc. Now that you know the basics, let's talk about actually melding Materia. First, you have to complete the Forging the Spirit quest and must be at least level 19. Second, you need to have a crafting job that is at least the same level as the gear is equipable, if not higher. You can also meld any type of Materia on a piece of gear that is meldable. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why would I want to meld crafting Materia onto a battle set, or vice versa? Well, there's a reason for that, but I'll get into it when we get to the spirit bonding section of this video. If you decide to meld the Materia yourself or have a friend do it on your behalf, you can also overmeld. Now, overmelding is typically only for crafted gear. So whether it be crafting gear, gathering gear, or battle gear, if it's crafted, chances are you can also overmeld on it. Let's say you didn't level any of your crafting classes. No worries, you can have an NPC melded for you. Keep in mind that the NPC cannot overmeld though, so if you need overmelds, you might have to ask for some help. You can also buy or sell gear that is already melded. However, if you or a retainer uses the gear, it'll gain 1% Spirit Bond, and then the item will become untradeable and unsellable. Spiritbond is a value that goes up as you wear the gear whilst killing enemies, crafting, gathering, or glamoring the gear. 100% Spirit Bond is needed to extract Materia, and extracting Materia can only happen at 100% Spirit Bond and will generate Materia that correlates to the equipable level of the gear. So for example, level 80 gear will produce either tier 7 or 8 Materia when extracted. Your Spirit Bond will never go under 1% even after you extract, which, keep in mind, makes it untradeable and unsellable. The more Materia you have melded on an item, the faster it will Spirit Bond. The tier of Materia doesn't matter, so in theory, you can throw a bunch of unwanted Materia onto a piece of gear just to reach 100% Spirit Bond faster. According to the FF XIV Wiki, high-quality gear will Spirit Bond 20% faster than normal gear. Each Materia melded onto the gear will increase the speed by another 20% per Materia melded. There are several ways to hasten the Spirit Bond process, such as FC buffs, Grand Company scrolls, medicines, and specific gear, which I'll show here on the screen. A common question I get from newer players is, what's the difference between Demimateria and Materia? Materia can be melded onto gear, whereas Demimateria cannot. Demimateria comes from desynthesis, which is for another video. Materia comes from extraction, retrieval, and all the other things I listed before. Last but not least, I'm going to go over Materia Transmutation. This process can only be performed by Mutamix Bubbly Pots. You can unlock this by completing the quest Marvelously Mutable Materia. The way it works is that you give him 5 different random pieces of materia, preferably stuff you don't need or have no use for, and they'll change them up into 1 piece of materia at random. Now, there's a chance you can get something better than what you submitted. There's a chance you can get something worse than what you submitted, but it's all up to chance. Alright guys, that concludes my FF14 Materia Guide video. I hope you enjoyed. If you found it useful, leave a like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. And if you're not familiar with my channel, I do have some other guides up, so feel free to take a look. Juni out.